All right, here we are. The good, the bad, the ugly. Tony Angelini.
Ben Johnson.
Carm Fiore.
Kevin Opolka.
All right, so tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about wearing the protective gloves for service in the industry.
What the health department? The health department comes up with all these rules.
Yep.
So, Carm, why do you think the kitchen staff wear gloves?
I think we should wear gloves not to touch stuff with our hands, but
But they do it in Italy. They wear gloves in Italy.
No.
They don't wear gloves in Italy.
most of the time, Sean.
No shit.
No, when I used to serve raw seafood, I used to prepare the dish with my bare hand.
And then what happens after you prepare the dish?
Just serve it.
And then you touch other food with the same hands?
Yeah.
You don't wash your hands?
No.
Ugh.
Well,
Fucking the health department is not gonna move there.
no, well,
Man, why this glove thing? What do you think about this wearing gloves in the kitchen?
Well, I understand, where the health department is coming from and everything, with cross-contamination and everything like that, when you're dealing with raw meats and stuff and raw seafood and shit like that. But what most people don't understand is most of these places aren't using them the way they're supposed to be used. You gotta, after touching that raw seafood, that raw chicken or raw beef, you gotta discard that stuff, those gloves, get some new gloves when you move on to something else. Or like they think just because they're wearing gloves, they're being sanitary, but what they're doing is they're just spreading everything from one place to another. People don't realize, especially fast food, I believe, they don't think about, switching gloves out or whatever, like, oh, I got gloves on, so it's okay to do this and do that, or if I can, touch this or touch that, because my hands are clean. But the gloves are dirty. But the gloves are dirty as shit. Makes no sense. The regulations and shit. I'd rather have somebody that washes their hands after touching shit instead of fucking doing multiple things with gloves on.
What do you think, Kevin? Wearing
I
gloves.
think, like I said, but there's a positive and negative to it all. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, not like for us too. I mean, wait staff, it's different. We constantly wash our hands all day long. I mean, we do rubber gloves. We know what we're doing here. We change our gloves constantly when we're working at Gina's. I mean, you touch up. You can't go make a beef and then a customer comes in for a pickup. You got to run there. You got your gloves on. You can't go to the register and then come back with the same gloves on and start making food again. No, you got to take the gloves off all the time. You got to do your thing. Come back, put new gloves on when you're making food for customers.
See, the thing with us, when we wear Geno's, we don't wear those rubber gloves.
Right.
We wear those ones that are real thin, so it comes off
It
easily.
comes off easily.
Yeah.
Not the latex.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they're the deli gloves.
they're deli
Yeah,
gloves.
they're deli gloves.
My personal opinion, I think, fuck the gloves. Okay, plain and simple, fuck the gloves.
Right. Well,
Reason
somebody
why,
had to say it.
and the thing about it is, fuck the gloves. The reason why I'm saying fuck the gloves is, all these guys, besides Carm, he doesn't do this shit here because I fucking kick his ass.
I've been talking.
He said in Italy, okay? I don't even want to go eat down there no more after you fucking told me that because I really like the restaurant. But besides the point, what I'm saying is fuck the glove. The reason why I say fuck the glove is because when you have a glove on, and I saw this, and mark my words, when you go to a restaurant and you see people cooking and you can see that kitchen or you see someone cooking back there, look at those people with the gloves, okay? They have the gloves on. They'll open the counters. They touch this, they touch that. They'll have those gloves on for a fucking hour.
Oh, yeah.
For an hour. They're wearing those gloves. The reason why is they don't feel their hands dirty, so their brains is like they don't tell them their hands dirty. But if you don't have no gloves and you touch them and you feel something, you're like, oh, you got to go wash your hands.
Right.
So you feel something if you don't have gloves on. So to me, I prefer not wearing gloves because you're constantly washing your hands. When you have gloves on, it's like your brain says your hands are not dirty, so you don't wash your gloves.
Right. You don't feel.
Does that make sense?
You don't feel the dirt. You don't feel the
Complete
dirtiness.
sense.
Yeah, you don't feel the dirtiness, so you don't feel like, so you have those gloves on. I was in a restaurant in town, okay, and I could see people cooking. The woman went from making the food to the cash register, give them change back, back making the food, touching a bucket or something, I don't know what the fuck it was, okay, back making the food, and I was in that restaurant for 45 minutes because I had to make my food. I was eating, and you could see him doing all this. And I told my wife, look at this shit. This is the reason why I don't like the gloves. For me, personally, I prefer someone making my food with no gloves on. I'll take my chance if they didn't wash their hands. But I guarantee you right now, a lot of those guys with gloves, they wear them for 20, 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anybody, even a dirty person, could go 5 minutes while washing their hands because you're touching something in the kitchen that makes you like.
How do you know someone else didn't touch like that utensil? How do you know someone else didn't come by and use that, the dish out and then didn't have gloves on, but this one did? So it's like cross contamination. This one, what did he touch last time? Maybe he didn't wash his hands. You don't know.
How
So,
about when you open a refrigeration?
well, yeah, I know.
You can see what I'm saying? If you let's say you're putting sausage on and the fucker didn't wash his glove and they go open a refrigeration, then the person goes,
Sausage on there, and we touched it, and then, yeah, I know.
yeah, so to me, I say fuck the glove. I prefer not wearing gloves because then you feel dirty, you gotta wash them. If you don't feel dirty, you're not gonna wash them. That's what I'm looking at.
100%. I agree with that, yep.
So another thing I want to bring up is while we're talking about health code and all the departments, I'm telling you this because I want you to open your eyes when you go to a restaurant. Because when I go to a restaurant, I watch everything. And believe me, I'm like a hawk because I follow all the codes and then I see everybody else who don't follow the codes. Okay, so when you go to a restaurant, okay, many times you went to a restaurant and women are the worst at this, okay? Server women, they fix their hair, they go get the food and they put it on a fucking table.
No, I've seen that numerous. Yes.
Keep an eye on it, on the women. And then the men's, they forgot facial hair. They do this while they're talking, while they're taking your order.
Yep.
But then they bring you their food without washing their hands. I mean, what do you think of that shit?
I've seen it 100 times. I don't know. It's just common sense. Like you don't want somebody, you don't know what the fuck they got on, their fucking hair and shit like that. Or
Right.
that hair is going to end up in your food. The
just
fucking
don't know.
stuck to their hand and shit.
Okay, what about karma? Men does do this. A lot of time I see men doing this. Ready?
Yeah.
They do this, or they're scratching under their armpit, or their stomach. What do you think of that, back, Karma? I mean,
Back in the days, I used to do this stuff. Then I came here, and when I start doing this here, this guy is starting to stare at me. What the fuck are you doing? No, don't do that. And I started understanding, how bad that is. So,
but in Italy they don't have alcohol like this, huh?
Scratching on the armpit fucking really got to me now.
they
That's
do
what-
have that, but most of the places, they pretty much don't care.
Right. Because in Italy, it's one thing when you go to Italy and you're by the ocean, when they catch these fucking octopus, they catch them live, and they fucking slam them against the rocks.
rocks, yeah.
Yeah, they slam them against, then they rip them, and then they eat them raw without watching nothing. So I can see why the Italians don't believe in health codes. I mean, shit. I mean, but at the same time, people don't get sick either.
And they live a long life, right?
They live a long life. But, and that's one thing about that. But what do you think, Kev? A server, when, scratching or long nails, what do you think of that?
Yeah, you got to keep yourself. I mean, I clean your nails. I got a brush. I don't go get what do you call those pedicures or whatever.
No.
But I still keep my nails clean. Just sitting there, like you can't sit there with the customer and start doing. I mean, my hands are like this. I either put my hands on the table or on the chair. I tell them the features, not specials. Do all the stuff. I don't sit there and I'm not like this. You do that once you're getting back, but you still wash your hands. You don't do it in front of a customer. Okay. If you got a scratch, man, there's times where I had a fucking scratch and I didn't want to scratch because we're in a spot where a customer's going to be like, so I waited till I got back. And by the time you fucking forget about it sometimes, But I think that's kind of fucking gross.
I'm really
Especially
sick.
if a girl's sitting there playing with her hair while she's getting her order. Get the fuck
They
out of
do
here.
that. You know how many times I do that? Especially these fucking commercial joints you guys go eat there. Oh my God. I mean, the men doing this, touching their face, or they're like doing that. And then
It's not like it used to be like back in the day, but
Yeah. So that's the stuff you gotta watch out. Next time go to a restaurant, be more aware about that. It's like back
Tony, you always told me, be aware of your surroundings. Always watch stuff.
I watch all the, like in the old times, they smoke a cigarette and I wash their hands and make you drink. And then happened,
Man, my boss used to make fucking meatballs. Fucking cereal like this. They'd be in the back making meatballs. I'm like, well, we didn't care because we drank out of fucking garden hoses too and all that shit.
It was the fucking 80s, man.
Yeah.
80s, they do a lot of
Oh,
shit.
80s, man. Shit.
So the stuff that we talked about right in this episode, keep an eye on it. When you go to a restaurant, gloves. Watch people with gloves. See how many times they take it off. I mean, if you could see the kitchen or they're cooking in front of you. I mean, there's a couple restaurants in town that you can see the kitchen and cook in front of you. See how many times they change their gloves. Or like I said, look at the waitstaff. Okay, look at them at all time. You know what I mean? So how can you tell when a restaurant is a clean restaurant? I'm testing my guys out
I would say by the kitchen.
by the kitchen. How the fuck you don't watch the kitchen when you're a customer?
Or, by the menus, I would say.
How the fuck will you see by the menu by the bathroom? Tell me how's that gonna happen?
Because, if something simple like a menu is not clean, how can I think that the rest is going to be clean?
That's fucking makes a lot of
It
sense.
does, yeah.
For once, he said something
He said
right.
something good, yeah, man. All that, yeah.
Ding, 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 Johnny, you just want a fucking Corvette.
Well, he is very 100% right on the right track. I mean, if you go to a restaurant numerous times too, you see things, and if you see something that's not been clean, and you've been there how many weeks?
So, I mean-
certain things like that, you notice. It's like here. I mean, we gotta always be on stuff. It's like salt, pepper shakers. Make sure they're all clean. Everything. I mean, you come to this place if they're dirty, that means they're not washing their. If you come back and you sit at the same table, maybe it happens. You know, I've been there.
Something
And
could
it's
happen.
Still fucking the same fucking whatever's on. You know, something. And it's like, really?
Yeah. No, how
There's
about
a
you,
lot of
man?
different things.
What do you think?
That's all the stuff when you're like sitting down and stuff. But the first thing you should notice is their windows.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's
windows.
my pet peeve. Sorry, that's a good one.
Windows.
I forgot about that,
You
man.
got it.
Good way to bring
Windows.
that up. Yep.
So you get in a place, hey, look at their windows. If the windows are not like foggy and it got all this shit on it,
Yep.
that's number one thing. 100%. That's number one thing.
Yep.
So they're all right. They're all right about what they're saying. It's cleanest. So me, it's like first thing is the window. So you walk in the window, you know, I mean, we're talking a foggy window, not just a little dirt here and there, foggy like it's like they've been touched for like a year. So, you know, salt and pepper shaker, like you said,
Right.
if there's crumb on it and you feel it, it's like, oh, but that could happen from the table prior to that.
Right.
But my guys know every time you clean their fucking table, wipe down the salt and pepper and everything else.
Our windows here at the bar, people eat pasta splatters. I've wiped off pasta from the windows before. It's another thing we got to do constantly all the time too. Keep those windows clean. There's a ledge there. I mean,
Yeah, but it's
it doesn't mean just clean this little thing. No, you got to clean everything.
same thing with the menu, like you were saying about the menu. So when an owner, the managers, and the employees worry about those little things, then you know the kitchen is fucking clean. Because those little things turn into big things. Okay.
All the receipt books, those
Yes.
we clean those constantly.
Constantly.
Yeah, receipt book comes.
So when you take pride in a little shit like this,
Yeah.
glass of salt, pepper, you know that kitchen's fucking clean. Okay. Now when a person knows, oh, it's okay, it means that fucking kitchen. I mean, anybody comes to my restaurant wants to see my kitchen, even when we're in a rush. I make sure the kitchen's clean because I'm a neat freak. I like the place clean. But till next time, the good, the bad, and the ugly.